All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for
Symphogear, Season 2, Episode 8. Holy shit, that twist, I love it. Kirika has awakened to her dark arts.
Yes.
Yeah, and Maria was never Fine this entire time.
Never.
And maybe that does kind of explain some of the plans and the schemes and the things that they've been doing and stuff, because they're just going on previous stuff that Fine would have instructed them to do if something happened to her and things, but it's not actually because Fine's doing any of this.
Trying to see if potentially Fine will awaken in the two girls.
Yeah.
Now she has.
Indeed.
In order to protect them from random falling construction objects because of
That's
fate.
right. Yeah. But hey.
Without the crazy lore, though.
Without the crazy lore.
Yet. Right.
Right.
Symphogear fans.
But
Totally.
this definitely complicates things because we have had a very emotional core for this set of antagonists and everything, and Kirika and Shirabe care about each other very much, and they care about Maria and everything.
Or will they now be sundered?
Will they be sundered? Will they need to go to, like Hibiki and company for help? Is Hibiki going to be okay? Because she just had that whole thing, happen, which was a bit ridiculous. So,
Will she lose her way?
Will she lose her way? That is a good question.
So without further ado, let's get into this. All right, everyone, now be sure to go check out the reaction portion of the video in the description below, then come back here for the discussion. Shit. Miku's not gonna die.
No, she's not dead.
I mean,
because
the only reason why...
Miku has to be in constant emotional pain,
yes,
right?
Exactly.
So she can't be in emotional pain if she's dead. Now,
we haven't introduced another normie character to replace her yet. Really.
Exactly. And while it's possible that the trio from school could combine their efforts to try and be like the norm, no.
Miku has too much. Too much power.
Exactly.
Too much power.
Exactly.
To die.
But also those damn Americans.
Those damn Americans whipping out their guns.
Just gunning down every civilian.
I loved how
in the
comically large the rifles were that they were using. The machine guns. Those were like G.I. Joe level, humongous size. And it was like, okay, yeah, this is a sci-fi, but that was hilarious. But then the animation on Maria, losing it and just
and I love that she has this quandary here because Symphogear, right? It's great, it's hype and all that stuff, but when they're fighting the noise, they don't really have to deal with that issue, right?
Yep. And then they foreshadow with the training room that she's going to have to fight maybe a person at some point.
Right, because
what do you do when that happens?
Well, and what do you do when they're not a Symphogear user, where if you kick them in the face, their neck will snap and,
they will, bobblehead,
Exactly, and they are super fucking dead, right? like that.
I love that the blood splatter was just a, no, don't worry about it. They're dead.
They're super dead.
They're really dead.
Yeah,
She is super strong, and the human meat sack is very squishy. Yes.
Yep.
So,
and
pop.
So there you go, right? All right. But also the whole thing of her being like, no, I'm trying to save these people here.
Yes.
Calm down.
Don't panic.
Don't panic. Run. Yeah. It's like,
that's something that she was telling to herself back then, but also something of, I just killed a bunch of people.
Right. I killed a bunch of people.
Don't panic, Maria. You need to save your mother here.
Right. And even though I was doing it to save these people, and they probably know that, or at the very least that those people were going to kill us, probably.
Well...
you killed people in a superhuman kind of way that's a bit terrifying.
It's like being an extra on Watchmen, if Watchmen was real, and you watch people's elbows getting shattered as with a punch, basically, and the arm just ragdoll flies off, and you're like,
oh,
I don't feel safe anywhere near any of this. No.
Yep.
So that was a really cool feeling of terror to build us up to the idea that, Hibiki has to use her Symphogear. This is just fate at this point. Yeah, I'm gonna keep making that joke. But
the universe is aligning and all of these things. Oh shit, we're at the same tower as the deal.
Yeah.
Damn it. Okay.
How convenient.
Right.
But the idea that, Miku really tried. And the idea that all the way up until they were holding hands and
Yeah. I love that because
keep getting so close.
Well, and it's also something where, like, okay, Miku in a lot of ways is maybe one of my favorite characters in the show. You know?
Oh, I can see that.
Because,
sure. I mean, it's a shtick character.
Yeah, it's a shtick character for sure. But it's something where, because this show is so rule of cool with the Symphogear and everything, right? It can be hard to have stakes when we see something where someone's arm gets bitten off and then 5 minutes later in the next episode, it's back and they're kicking ass, right?
Yeah.
So having something like this where Hibiki is not actually going to die here because she's a badass, she's got Symphogear and everything, right? But
Miku keeps the stakes high.
But Miku keeps the stakes high, and as someone who is watching this happen, knowing that this will, what it's doing to Hibiki, right? Mm-hmm. And also, like, really not being able to do anything to stop it, right?
Right.
Because with someone like Tsubasa, right?
Yeah.
She can say, no, you're not going to do this anymore,
Yeah,
and
she just can't stop the feeling of helplessness because
right.
She has to realize that even if she tries to basically be the one that stops Hibiki from doing this, she can't really stop.
She can't really stop Hibiki, right?
And thus she needs to resolve the feelings that are within her, and that's not easy.
Oh yeah, and that scene with Tsubasa I absolutely loved, right? That was wonderful. The stuff with Miku I feel like is that, and just, the same kind of helplessness that she's felt this entire time, but now she actually knows the situation. She knows what's going on.
Yeah.
And so this feels like a very natural progression from the first season, because it's not I'm in the dark, it's how do I deal with the fact that I know, right?
Yeah. I'm going to forcefully try and stop Hibiki.
Yep.
Now, the situation escalates in a proper way that doesn't feel too forced, in that, no, the Americans are here to take them by any means. So they brought a lot of people here. Mm-hmm. So, yes, the tower is going to be in serious trouble. And using the noise to protect them, Dr. Ver, very much is protecting them. But it's also a thing of where you're kind of forcing a more dramatic...
right.
A more dramatic fight than maybe it was necessary. Mm-hmm. Because the noise will just go and rampantly attack people as well.
Yep.
That's why,
Well, and also, he summoned the noise before he knew that it was going to fall through, right? So he was doing that also to sabotage the deal, right? Like,
I mean, that's the thing. I didn't think he would be up for the deal at all.
Yeah, and that's why you were surprised when it's like, I told Dr. Ver about it. And it's like, wait.
Yeah, like, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
He doesn't seem like the kind of person that would do that.
Right.
Especially given the way he literally, finagled things with the Americans early on. So it's like...
Yeah.
Like... Wait a minute. Like, I feel like Dr. Ver is this close constantly to flipping the script on everybody and being like, I am taking Kirika, and we're going to go do this all ourselves. But I will do whatever it takes. Mm-hmm. I don't care about the cost or the consequences.
Yep. And really, they should just take the Solomon's cane or whatever from him. Okay, you're too much of a wild card.
Any skill to use, apparently.
Right. Yeah.
Just pew 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 pew.
Exactly. Give it to Mom. Like.
I mean, she's a little physically weak. So.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. It was kind of funny seeing Maria push her in this super high tech wheelchair. It's like, wait, this super high tech wheelchair can't just move on its own. But yeah, whatever.
It's faster if she moves it with her,
And it's a way to show that Maria cares about her mom and that she is going, like,
she's attentive.
She's attentive, right? Yes. And that way they can have those moments, because with the stuff that Maria is going through right now, it makes sense that she needs someone to talk about. Because if you try to
talk with us about,
someone to talk with us about about this, because if you're
words,
because if you're dealing with something that's crazy, like killing people, or I don't know, Fine reawakening, inside of you, that might be a lot to handle for one person, and maybe it'd be easier if you talk to someone about it, especially if your time is now limited. They might cherish every moment they can get with you, since there isn't going to be many of them.
Yeah, and given that the deal with the Americans went through, and they're probably going to have some words to say to Dr. Ver about this, given that this is maybe a bit more chaos than they would have wanted. If anything, Dr. Ver would probably be the most helpful to get the ship into position, which it probably is just stealthed above the tower anyway. Mm-hmm. But the idea that he's not doing that, he's elsewhere. Like, he's not even...
Yeah, he's not giving them a quick evac. Like,
right. He's not invested necessarily in the direct, immediate outcome to the point that he's putting any risk to himself by being here. It feels very Darth Malak firing on Revens,
Right.
Flagship
bridge. Yeah.
Yeah.
It feels like a very half-assed double cross because it's like, okay, come on, Dr. Vare.
So that if it works out where they get away, he's like, I tried to help and do what I could.
Sure.
And if they don't make it out, it's like
right.
well.
But then he's betting that either
I tried to help them, Kirika, but
that either the Americans will kill them, and by disrupting the deal, the Americans will attack even if they weren't planning to double cross or something like that.
Right, but he won't have to deal with Mom, and he'll have access to the ship.
No, right. But then it's in all the times that you've seen Symphogear users go up against noise, has it ever worked out for you?
Yes. For those few random times where they gooped.
Right. They randomly goop or do something like that.
The Symphogear users just walked into the red circle.
Right. Or you make some big multiplying, noise that
whatever.
Yeah.
The point is that Ver, I am very suspicious of the way that you've been handling these things here, and yet they not only still work with you, you still seem to be wanting to work with them. So there's this unique aspect in which I kind of see how you guys are so tightly knit in this that you can't afford to betray each other.
Yes.
But then there was this cool thing of how you went to the spot, and even though he's like, wait, we didn't do all the side quests, before setting this up. Why are we doing this here? And she's like, no, we've got this. They do it. They don't have enough power, and he like loses his mind over the fact that they tried and failed.
Right.
So it's like,
is it because then
what's going on here?
The attempt is going to potentially alert people to the presence of this frontier thing?
I mean, I love villains that don't have perfect competence.
Yes, I love that too. And
antagonists.
Right, yeah. I think my favorite part about this season so far, other than just all the, hype upgrades with the visuals and the music and, and all that, is just that these antagonists really feel like protagonists that are just a band of misfits.
Yeah, band of misfits.
And Vare is really the villain,
Vare is the
anomaly that doesn't need to be there.
Fit.
He doesn't fit.
Nope.
Like, he was like the most ham-fisted, it's still gonna be an evil scientist at the end, because sure.
He believes he's Dio facing against the Joestars, and he's like hot shit, and he's like,
I would love to get into Vare's head,
He probably thinks like, I am gonna be like the god savior hero of everything. I'm going to ascend beyond all this, and then he's just gonna get bopped once on the head, not even to kill him.
No,
they're just gonna throw his ass into some kind of
Miku's gonna kick
prison.
him in the dick,
Yeah. And it's just gonna be like, we're just gonna interrogate you for a good, I don't know, 3 months, and then we're just gonna forget that you're there,
or even
feed
better,
you protein randomly.
It's like, okay, Dr. Vare, he's kind of a problem. What should we do with him? Let's give him to the Americans.
Yes. He was never seen from again.
Yep.
The American torture techniques are. They are definitely above board, if you know what I'm saying. Yeah.
I legitimately would not be surprised if that ended up happening, just because of how the Americans are like yes, these are the bad guys of the world.
Oh yeah. Rampant militaristic, regime. They have
this terrorist organization that held
morals, corruption, rampant.
Right.
Yep, that sounds about right of a hyper, take on America. Yep, sure.
This terrorist organization that held an entire stadium full of people hostage as they declared their desire to rule the world. Now, they're pretty chill, cool people, actually. They're just misunderstood, and everything. They're going on their own little journey, but these Americans, they're a problem.
Yeah. I mean, they use guns, man.
Oh, man.
But not like lances with medieval things that have
superhuman technology, or
superhuman alien technology that
rampant, chaotic, not able to be controlled alien things that disintegrate people. Whatever. But I gotta say, the idea of ending it with Miku potentially dying, even though, this is Symphogear, Miku's not gonna die, they bait us all the time, But as far as what that means for
until
Hibiki,
they don't, right?
Until they don't, yeah. Like,
I do feel like this season has progressively gotten more
like
focused
serious
on that. Well, no, focused on that thing that they were very much seeming to set up in season 1 of things moving in a darker direction in the long term. But I think that's more of the stuff that's going on internally with Hibiki's physiology.
Sure. And that's, well, and also her just like the mental state of the characters.
The mental state, where she kind of laughed at the idea of, yeah,
it's like, no,
cool.
stop that, yeah.
I guess I'm eventually going to die if I keep doing this.
I'll just try and...
you're banned from doing this, Hibiki. And she's just like, I mean, but what value do I have beyond, doing this? It's a really interesting aspect of a main character to basically feel indebted for the fact that they can, therefore they must. Well, not only that, but the fact that she was saved by someone that died using their Symphogear.
Yeah.
So she kind of feels indebted to the world almost to be like the hero that she robbed from all of them by needing to be saved. And since she was, given this fateful encounter with the shard of Gungnir that pierced her and gave her this opportunity to be this powerful hero, maybe. Well, she has to use it, right? That's the only reason she's alive, right?
And then Miku gets a megaphone and
slaps her,
gets a megaphone and shuts her. No! Yeah. Yeah. I love this. And
go on more dates with me!
Right. And even if we, the audience, know that Miku's fine, Hibiki does not know that. And so the impact is still totally there, much the same as with Miku needing to let go, or not being able to hold on, right?
Yeah.
Hibiki's not going to die, but that doesn't matter because what does it do to Miku? So
exactly.
Awesome.
But yeah. All right. We are in a sitch. We are right now.
We are indeed.
And I loved the little, what'd you make? 298 yen.
Yeah.
That was such a cute little moment.
That was adorable.
That was love.
Exactly. And Kirika
might have been the exact price of love. I'm not sure.
Oh, yeah. Like, I was wondering if that was a reference. Yeah. But, Kirika, maybe talk to Shirobe about it because can you imagine?
You both are similarly in that kind of potential state,
And
so
can you imagine how heartbroken she will be if you don't tell her and then her best friend is gone and suddenly it's Fine and she's like, wait, what happened? Yeah.
So, y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get an early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access, so you can chat with us in the community there about this show, about anime in general, and also be sure to check out our Twitch channel.
We stream every weekday. The info's in the description.
Yeah, so if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.